I'm just like, what the heck? Like, why am I burping so much?
The way she move, the way she talk, the way she look at me, yeah. African woman, I catch you the garden.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. So if you don't know, my name is Zara, like the store. I know it's been a very long time since I just sat down and filmed a video, and I'm sorry, but I hope I promise, no, I don't promise. Why am I lying to people? I am going to try to produce more videos and just give more content and just express myself more on this channel. Well, I am still kind of a private person, so I don't really like expressing myself too much, but I felt like I have to get something off my chest, right? So today's video is going to be about why I became vegan and how, and like what led me to become vegan. And yeah, so it's kind of like I didn't really tell anybody about this situation just because it was a hard time for me throughout this whole situation. So today I'm gonna just say it, no makeup, you know, the true me, the real me, and how I've been feeling and just everything. So let's see, where do I begin? So I've been vegan for about a year and some change, like June 6th of 2019. So since, let me breathe, why am I rushing? So June 2019, I've been vegan. And in the beginning of the year, so like January, I've been having like health issues, and I always say that, and people be like, oh, health issues, what do you mean, what is going on, and want to like know more, but I don't really go in depth. I'm sorry, I have a list, so every word that I say is just like, yeah, but you know what I mean, in depth. I didn't really go in depth about it, so I would just say, oh, I have like acid reflux and just gut health issues, stuff like that. But the truth is, let me start from the beginning. So January 2000, I'm gonna say like the beginning of the year in January, and also the end of the beginning of January 2019 and the end of December like 2018, I have been feeling like chest pains. It was like difficult for me to breathe sometimes. I would like have trouble breathing in and out. I'll be out of breath a lot, and I was just worried because like I'm young, like I'm 20 right now, I'm 23, but at the time I was like 20. I was 21, 22, around that age, and I'm just like, I've been working out, I know I've been going to the gym, I've been staying fit, so why am I out of breath every time I do something? And I could even be laying down and chilling, and I would still be like having trouble breathing and be out of breath. So I went to, at first it was the breathing, and then it became into chest pain. So during January, that's when I started having really bad chest pains. Like my chest would be hurting super bad. My heart would be racing really fast, and I wouldn't even know like what's wrong with me. I was telling my family around me, and they wouldn't know what, like, because they're not doctors, they don't know what's going on. So finally I went to the clinic down the block from me, and then I went to see my like family doctor, and he basically was like, well, the most that I could do right now is give you an EKG test, because they did tests for my blood pressure too, and my blood pressure was above normal, but I wasn't really worried about that because it runs in my family, like that we all have high blood pressure, like that just runs in my family. But I went to the doctor and we did the EKG test, and basically it's a test of your heart rate, and mine's was like scattering. It was not like steady at one pace. And he just recommended me to a cardiologist. So this all happened in January. So January, well, that happened like at the end of December. January is when I started to go see the cardiologist, and they ran a few tests too. So I was running on a treadmill, and they would track my heart rate. They did like a heart scan. So basically it's like what's that called? You know, when you're pregnant and you do a sonogram, it's like a sonogram of your heart. So they did that, and they didn't see anything wrong. And also, I had another test of something. Oh, they had a EKG on me. So like my own personal EKG, and literally I have to wear it for 24 hours. And it was tracking my heart rate throughout the whole entire like day. Was it 24 hours? I'm trying to think if it was 24 or 48. No, it could have been 48. But it was basically tracking my heart rate for the whole entire day to see if it's normal. And after all the tests, they basically said that nothing was wrong with me. So I'm just like, so why am I having chest pains and all of this? And the guy, my cardiologist was like, oh, it could be also gas. Like when you have too much gas in your system, if you have acid reflux, your chest start hurting, stuff like that. So I didn't really keep like in mind of that, and I just went about my life because they was just like, oh, you're fine. So now January, everything is good, whatever. So after like the end of January, the beginning of February happened, everything happened. So I'm just chilling, whatever, being me, and I still have these pains, these chest pains, and I'm like, I know I'm not bugging, but they like started dying down. So it's like, why do I keep saying let me stop. No more So the chest pain started dying down, and I was just regular, I guess. And then I would go to work normal. Honestly, nobody knew what was going on with me. Nobody knew I had an EKG on me. Like, I literally act like everything was okay. Even when I had like heart racing, my heart was racing and I was out of breath. I went to work normally, like nothing happened. So one day I went out. One day I went out and, you know, partying or whatever, regular. And then the next day, I came to work and I just went to work regularly. And I was burping. Oh no, this is what happened. One day I made oxtails for my family. So I made oxtails, all of that. And like I went to bed and still had chest pains. And I was thinking it was gas because I was eating like food that were high in gas and just make you, you know, do what it do, use the bathroom. So I did that. What happened? So I made oxtails. The next morning, I drank. I remember exactly what I drank. I woke up. It was a Friday morning. I woke up. It was like February something. It could have been February 16th, 17th, around that area. But I went to eat. I went to drink some coffee, and then after I drank that coffee, I just started burping excessively. Like literally every second I was burping. And it was like kind of like a hiccup, and it would not stop. Like it went on for about, I want to say like 2 months, like literally 2 months. And I was so miserable burping every single day, every single second. The only time I did not burp was when I wasn't talking, like when I was talking. But when I wasn't talking, I would burp, and like you would see my chest move, but nobody would know what's going on. Cause I was literally, I don't even know how I did it, but I was literally going to work regularly every single day, burping excessively, like uncontrollably. Right now I could laugh about it and everything because I passed it, but I was really burping like every single second. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, why am I burping so much? So I'm thinking like, okay, I probably have too much gas in my system. At first, actually, before I even did that, I took some Alka-Seltzer because every time, like, you know, when you're trying to burp, you take Alka-Seltzer. So I was just like, maybe I should take Alka-Seltzer. I don't know what I was thinking. So like all of the burping could come out. Like, I guess like I wasn't like, I don't know. But basically it was so much, I had so much acid reflux that I just kept burping uncontrollably. And I'm just like, this is not only acid reflux, because a lot of people have it. And I never heard of anybody burping. I started Googling it. Nothing was popping up. And I was just so miserable. Like, I'm literally laughing right now because like, I'm glad I'm out of that situation. But I was so miserable. Every day burping. And it was not even that. The chest pain came back too. Like, my heart would be beating super fast and I would be burping uncontrollably. Like, and one day, I think it was that weekend that I started burping, or the weekend after. One day I went to work burping excessively, as I always do. I used to work at JCPenney. Yeah, I don't work there no more. But I used to work there, and it was like, if you know, it's always busy on weekends. It was a Sunday. Excuse me. I need some water. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. So I got my water. Where did I put this on? Oh, I got my water. I just needed something because I was parched. Where was I at? All right, one day I was working at JCPenney, like I always do, and it's always crowded on weekends. And I was working on the men's floor. So the men's floor is not usually crowded, but like that day it was crowded. Where was I at? Like, my brain was like going everywhere. Hold on, let me get my thoughts together. So, all right. So I was on the register, just like checking people out or whatever. And every time I burp, like I would need some water just to like I don't know why, but that would help. And I was eating like regular, after that day of me eating oxtails, I stopped eating that. So I was just eating like chicken. I'm all over the place. I should have wrote notes, but I probably wouldn't have followed it anyway, because yeah. All right, so I went to JCPenney, working on my shift. I had water with me, all of that. So I started my shift at 5 o'clock. No, that's the time I left. I started my shift at 3 o'clock. Yeah, I started my shift at 3 o'clock, and I was just there for 2 hours doing whatever. Then all of a sudden, my chest was hurting like really bad. Like, mind you, I don't do drugs, I don't do any of that. So I was like, what the heck is going on with me? Like, did somebody drug me or something? Like, I don't know, but nobody did. But basically that's how I felt. So I felt like I was out of my body and I could not breathe. Like, every time I was trying to burp, like it would stop me from breathing. That's how I felt. So every burp, my chest was hurting and it would stop me from breathing. So I was like gasping and burping, gasping and then burping, gasping and then burping, right? So I went to while I'm gasping and burping, I went to my supervisor and I'm like, can I go home? Because I feel like I can't breathe. Everything is moving slow around me. Like, I just don't feel like I should be working right now. Like, I literally cannot breathe. So I called my mom, I called my sister, I called everyone telling them, oh, I'm coming home. I feel like I can't breathe, my chest hurts really bad, stuff like that. I'm on 34th Street, walking down the street with my coat off. It's freezing cold. I feel like I'm out of my mind right now. So I literally feel like I'm about to pass out. Like, I feel like I'm gonna faint. So I stop and I just try to sit down, and I was like, no, I cannot sit down. Mind you, I'm on the phone with my sister. She's trying to call a cab so I can come home, but then I'm just like, call a cab so I can go to the hospital. Then I'm like gasping for air on 34th Street. I'm by Macy's, walking like down the street. Like, I literally cannot make this up. And I'm not even exaggerating. That's literally how I felt, like I was gonna just pass out. So I'm gasping for air, trying to like stay awake, like walking down the street, like literally my mind was not focused on, my mind was focused on trying to stay up and not passing out, because I literally was, I keep saying literally, I was so dazed and confused. Like, it was just, I couldn't breathe. I was trying to gasp for air. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, this is how I felt. So I'm walking in, like, I'm walking, still on the phone with my sister, and then I see like a cop car at the stoplight. So I'm like waving to the cop car so the cop car could see me. Like, hello. I'm like waving, so he finally sees me, and I'm still gasping and burping this whole entire time, trying to explain myself that I cannot breathe and I need the ambulance. Like, I need someone to call the ambulance. So the cop, he was so nice. Like, he was extremely nice. He was really comforting. He told me to stand by the wall. Like, it's a pillar by the train station. Gasping, burping. I'm in this area. He's around, like, he's talking to me, like, just breathe, relax. It was basically like I was having a panic attack. That's basically what they told me. Like, do I always have panic attacks, or like they were asking me questions like, do you have asthma? Do you have panic attacks? This is the first time I ever felt like this. Like, I could not breathe and I needed help. Like, on the next episode of Why I Became Vegan, he calls the ambulance. The ambulance finally gets there where I can actually have like esophageal cancer. And once I hear cancer, I'm just like praying, like, please. Alright, so I'm gonna end this video right here. Stay tuned for the next video that is coming out shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe so you can get a notification for when the next video comes out.